Estefanía Gutiérrez mysteriously died after communicating with a Ouija board, and what happened next even made it into the police reports. Estefanía was born in 1973 and lived with her family in Vallecas, south of Madrid. Estefanía also had a brother and a sister. Everything was going well in their lives, but one day, something happened that upset Estefanía's parents. The reason for this was none other than Estefanía herself. Estefanía's behavior suddenly changed. Estefanía would make strange noises and sometimes even attack her brother. Not only that, she would scratch the walls of her house. Estefanía's family members were scared and worried about her antics. Estefanía's parents talked to Estefanía about this and tried to ask her why she did this. Estefanía said she didn't know why she did it. Estefanía also said that she had seen a shadow in the middle of the night and that she would act strangely every time she saw it. After all this, Estefanía's parents were getting more nervous. They were also worried because Estefanía's health was getting worse day by day. Estefanía's death. When Estefanía's parents did some more research, they found that Estefanía was reading books about occultism and ghosts. The parents thought that these books were influencing Estefanía, so they removed these books from Estefanía's room. However, despite this, there was no change in Estefanía's condition. After this, Estefanía's parents asked for help from the priest, but this did not help Estefanía. They also sought medical help, but all of Estefanía's reports were ordinary. The doctors said that Estefanía was completely fine mentally and physically. However, Estefanía's health was constantly deteriorating. They kept Estefanía in the hospital for a few weeks. Estefanía's parents would also come to visit her, and then one day Estefanía died mysteriously in the hospital. No one understood the cause of Estefanía's death. The doctors were also surprised. When the autopsy report came, they said that Estefanía died of a heart attack. Everyone in the family was very upset. After that, Estefanía's parents buried Estefanía's body with Catholic rituals. Estefanía's parents loved their adult daughter very much, so they kept all the things in Estefanía's room as they were. Estefanía's mother cleaned the room and locked it. Everything was fine for a few days. Paranormal activities started in the house. However, one day, when Estefanía's mother opened Estefanía's room, she was surprised to see the condition of the room. Everything in the room was scattered, and nothing was in its place. At first, Estefanía's parents thought it could be the work of a neighbor. All this continued for a few days, and then everything started to get even scarier. Voices started coming from Estefanía's room. The voices also sounded like they were calling Estefanía's mother. When Estefanía's parents heard these sounds and opened the door and entered her room, they noticed that there was a lot of cold air blowing in the room, but there was no air outside the window, and the room was in bad condition. Estefanía's parents noticed that there were fresh scratches on the walls. These marks were the same as when Estefanía was alive and started behaving strangely and scratching the walls. The whole family was very scared because of all these events, so they decided to close Estefanía's room tightly so that no one could enter that room. But then the exact opposite of what they expected happened. The next night, the same sounds were heard again, and even the door to Estefanía's room opened by itself. Estefanía's parents were now so scared that they decided to tell their neighbors about it. They were worried who would believe them. But still, Estefanía's parents dared to talk to their neighbors about it, and the neighbors also said that they heard strange sounds in their house at night. And the neighbors also saw all these events with their own eyes. That night, the sounds were coming from Estefanía's room. Everything in the room was upside down, and cold air was blowing into the room. Estefanía's teachers come home. Then one day, some teachers from Estefanía's school came to Estefanía's house. One of them was a nun. She told Estefanía's parents some things, so they understood the reasons for what was happening in their house. She said that Estefanía had a very close friend who had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend died in a bicycle accident, after which Estefana's friend was very upset. Then one day when she went behind the school, she saw 4 girls. One of them was Estefania, and her boyfriend was one of her friends who died. She saw all 4 of them sitting around a wooden box with glass on top. She went there immediately and broke the box and saw white smoke coming out of it and entering Estefania's nose and mouth. She talked to Estefania and her friends about this. She learned that Estefania had been reading books about ghosts and occultists. She believed that she could talk to ghosts and spirits, so she wanted to call the spirit of her friend's boyfriend and have her friend talk to her. Then she sent all 4 of them away. Parents discover the reason behind Estefania's death. All of this happened 7 to 8 months before Estefania's death, and there was a change in Estefania's behavior at that time. Estefania's parents understood the reason behind all these events. Estefania's parents thought that Estefania could talk to ghosts, but now she is wandering around the house like a ghost, maybe even trying to talk to them. Later, she goes back to Estefania's room and sees that the picture of Jesus in the room is upside down on the wall, and Estefania's photo is lying on the floor below. Estefania's mother starts to pick up her picture and immediately drops it on the floor. When Estefania's father sees this, he doesn't understand why his wife dropped the picture on the floor, so he bends down to pick up the picture. When Estefania's father picks up the picture and turns it over, he gets scared. Estefania's picture starts burning on its own, and Estefania's father drops the picture, and they both leave the room. In the morning, Estefania's parents call a plumber and ask him to close Estefania's room tightly. In addition, they put a lot of furniture in front of Estefania's room door, so that door can never be opened. The same thing happens. This time the voices were louder than before, and it seemed like someone was trying to leave the room. Estefania's room was unlocked unnaturally, and then the same thing happened that night. The police enter the story. Lazaro's family thought about leaving the house because of the constant events and the number of nights they would spend in fear. However, they were just thinking about all this and had not decided anything yet. Then that night, something happened that had never happened before. That night, while Estefania's mother was sleeping, she suddenly felt that someone was on her chest and was choking her. She tried very hard to remove his hand but couldn't. But then, somehow she managed to control herself. After this incident, the family called the police that same night. The police arrived at Estefania's house shortly after the phone call. When the police entered the house, they saw that the whole family was scared and asked them. Then Estefana's mother told them everything to the police chief. The police felt very strange in the house. They felt cold inside the house. And then, when they heard those voices, they asked if there was anyone else in the house. Estefania's mother told them there was no one else in the house, but these voices had been coming for months. Estefania's mother then told the police the whole story, after which the police said they wanted to see Estefania's room. When they went to the room, they saw that all the pictures were upside down. All the objects in the room were scattered. Suddenly, a strong wind started blowing in the room. But when they opened the window, there was no wind outside. The police didn't know what to do after that. Then they left. The police came back and listened to all the stories of the family. Estefania's father told them that there were 2 beds in the room where their little son slept. They put him to bed in one bed, but he reached the other bed like a football. The police didn't believe him. They learned that all these events only happened at night. So the police decided to stay there for the night. It was night, and Estefana's father took the police to his son's room, and after a while, they saw it all happen with their own eyes. Everything started happening in front of the police. The same scary sounds started to come. Then the police wrote all this in their report. The police reported what they saw in the house in the same way. Later, this incident came to the attention of the media. It remained a subject of discussion for a long time. There have been many investigations into this matter, but they have not found anything that could suggest that there is a person behind these events. After this, the police also advised Estefana's family to leave this house. Then things could change, although they were already thinking about leaving this house. Finally, they decided to leave the Louis Harine 8 apartment. After that, they moved to another place, and all these paranormal activities stopped happening. This story is still famous in Spain. Apart from this, there is also such a paranormal event that is registered by the government. There is a movie about it called Veronica, and I recommend you to watch it. If you liked the video content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it. See you in another video. Goodbye.